How's the new job?
It's
Oh,
going.
it's going. Okay.
It's a lot of website designing, which I have absolutely no experience with. So today, learning how to do things, I was just like, I give up.
Well, this has been fun, guys. I'll take that. I'll take that 2 hours of pay, and I'm out of here.
Exactly.
Oh my god. So that reminds. Once, this was right the pandemic started. After I left my electrician's job, I was looking for work, and my sister was like, "Hey, there's a position opened at the place I work. You could apply there." And it's a place in Elkhart that they do wood carved phone cases and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so it was like an assembly line job. And I got there and I started. And then after 3 hours, they came over to me and they're like, "Hey, so it was a situation where person A, like their two owners, person A did not talk to person B. Person B there was a new system they were going to put in place that made the job I was hired for irrelevant, but did not tell person A, and person A did not tell them that I was being hired. So I
Yeah.
worked 3 hours and was sent on my way. I'm like,
Oh my God, that's
yeah.
so
I was like,
sad.
my self-esteem was already pretty low at that point in time. That did not help one bit.
I felt that in my soul because I've been doing all year pretty much. I was looking for new jobs. I did so many interviews. Not a single place hired me. So it's a good thing I'm going back to school because clearly nobody wants me. Woo-hoo.
Well, I mean, to the consolation, I spent 2 years trying to get a job and doing anything that wasn't
Yep.
Ubering. So good evening or morning or whatever time of the day it happens to be. Welcome one, welcome all. My name is Lego Mike Grego. This is Taylor Noel Thomas. And this is the Writers Bleck podcast, a podcast for writers who have trouble writing due to ADHD, the state of the world, crippling depression, or just there's a really good sale on Amazon and we just couldn't be bothered to do the thing we have to do. Oh my God, I am just not with it right now. I feel like I'm not feeling my best, but it's like, even with that, it's been a week. Like
Mhm.
we are recording a week later than we normally would just because last week
Yeah.
was so insane for both of us. So we'll diving right in. We will start the show as we always started by reviewing our homework, how we did, what we did. Taylor's got some happy hands going on there. So would you want to start us off there?
Yeah, I actually wrote um I started and finished a piece that I've been trying to get down for like ever.
Mm-hmm.
So woo, that is all done. And I added a paragraph to our little crumple story. So
I'm looking
big
forward to
things.
I'm looking forward to seeing how you took my mediocre writing and just made it infinitely better. So
It is not infinitely better, I can promise you that.
as long as your pronouns are better than mine are, that's the important thing. That bothers me so much when I'm like, I can only use the person's name for so long, but it's like him,
Yeah.
he, his bothers the crap out of me.
Me, when I'm writing, my biggest issue is I hate saying said, even
Said.
though it's like, I mean, I can't turn every little thing into some crazy
Mm-hmm.
little phrase, but I just hate saying said over and over again.
Uh-huh.
Like said, she said. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, and generally when I'm writing dialogue like that, I will use said or says once, maybe twice, and then it's just okay. You've got to keep up now with who's who. Here's the cadences. Here's what they're saying. And maybe I'll like put like they motioned like this, so they can have their
Mhm.
name in there, and I can have some indicator if we really need it as to who is speaking. But yeah, I hate says and said. I hate words. I hate all words.
That's why we're writers.
Exactly, because words are awful. Well, you're a writer anyway. I am a planner. That means I plan to write stuff. I get some details down, and then I don't actually write anything of use. My
You don't know that. Have you let people read it?
no, not yet. So yeah, my homework was I wanted to make an outline for issue 1 of my comic. Every hero, oh no, all my heroes need therapy. Wow, I forgot my own book. And I did write an outline.
Hey.
Yeah, I keep having this weird issue. It's a superhero story, but it's a very grounded in these are still people type of thing. Like there is some action to be had, but I don't want to be like, oh, they're gonna doop 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 doop. And so I kind of had to rework that a little bit. It's that, and then I'm also having an issue with kind of not putting too much of myself into this character right out of the gate. Yeah, I'm like, oh, this character's gonna be an alcoholic. No, this character's gonna be on medication and it's not going well. This character is gonna be doing this. This character, I'm like, pick one thing and go from
Yes.
there.
I'm having the same issue because I started a romance novel, obviously, have not made any
Mhm.
further attempts since starting it. But
Mhm.
like I keep telling myself, oh, it's because I'm still trying to figure out the plot and all of that stuff like that. But it's because I keep changing up on the character every 5 seconds. I'm like, oh, I want her to be fiercely independent to the point where like she pushes people away. But then I'm like, no, 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 I want her to be, and I'm like,
Mhm.
you're just procrastinating writing at this point.
Yeah, it's nitpicking the characters so you can't get off the ground. And it's like, I love who these characters are at their cores. It's just figuring out, and then like the inciting incident I'm also having a problem with. I've been back and forth with how I want to do it. So essentially the crux of it is issue 1 starts with a flashback to kind of this character. I'm using the pseudonym David McConnell. That's a working name right now because that's kind of my my alias. When I go through Burger King drive-thrus, I say my name is David when they ask my name. It starts with him. He gets a job as a professor at a university. He kind of runs through the streets, ducks behind a building, and he flies out in a superhero costume. Him and his friends, stop a crime. And then he arrives at where his wife works, and she's very pregnant. And they're like, this is the start of something amazing. And then it hard cuts to him like 7 years later. He wakes up in bed alone. He's like got some stubble. He's got longer hair. And it kind of is just this thing of his days gets shittier and shittier, where he's told that he is not going to be renewed for another year with his university because of budget cuts. He is divorced because of his kind of double life, and his wife is now dating someone else, and this is the day he finds out about it. It's like, from there, I don't know because what I want to do is, one of his friends who is a hero is going to find him in some position. That was kind of where the Punisher thing came in, because at one point I'm like, after this, he like goes nuts, and he's like, I'm gonna put on a hoodie, and I'm gonna beat up some criminals, and I'm like, that's not who this character is at all. But I also don't want to go too far in the other direction where he's just sad. So the kind of the middle ground I have is, I'm gonna have him have a drinking problem, and so he goes out and trying to be a hero, but it's like that's what he has to do to cope, and it doesn't go well because he's drunk. And so his friend is just like, hey, this ain't cool. And then from there, it's kind of, I want issue 1 to end with kind of I know a place where heroes can go to get help.
Ooh, I love that.
Thank you. But yeah,
it sounds really, really good.
Thank you. I'm a good idea person, not so much the specifics. Like I can talk about this stuff all day long, but it's like when it comes down to put pen to paper or fingers to keyboards. Ooh, I've got breaking news. Grim has tested positive for COVID-19, which means I have COVID, which means it's not my medication. Who would have thought I'd be relieved to have COVID? I gotta tell my boss. Oh no. But yeah, that's my comic. That's my comic pitch for issue 1. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of get some of those details a little more fine tuned, but I like where I'm at. It's kind of just making a decision, I guess, is the big thing, and then kind of figuring out where I'm going from there. And then kind of, I know where I want. So I'm breaking it up like it's 12 issues. It's gonna be one book, but it's like I'm breaking it up like it's 12 chapters, 12 issues, and I know where chapter 12 is gonna end. So it's just kind of filling in the blanks. I know kind of the rough what I want to do throughout the book. It's just pacing isn't my strong suit, but we'll get there. We will absolutely get there.
I'm the same way. Like, I am great with ideas, especially like this romance novel I'm dying to write. I like have an idea of how it's going to go and the rise and falls, but everything in the middle and actually sitting down and getting it written, I am just struggling, and I don't know if it's an ADHD thing or if it's just a me thing, a writing process thing. I don't know, but I'm like, you got to get something on paper.
Yeah, for me, it's a little column A, a little column B. It's partially, it's absolutely ADHD, because it's like I can't sit still. I think that's one of those things. If I talk way too fast and I have a little bit of a slur. So things like dictation software, I think, would be amazing for me, but I can't talk.
Yeah.
And I'm not great at going back over things. Like, I can review something 6 or 7 times and there's still spelling and grammar mistakes. Yeah. I just need a better system in general.
I need a new brain in general, but
a new brain would be nice. I would like to not have to take happy pills to keep my anxiety in check.
Same here. People who don't have to take anything, I'm just so impressed by.
I don't understand how they do it. Like, I am on medication and I still feel like I'm this close to like losing it
every single day. Yep. And that definitely shows in my writing.
Yeah. It's really weird because like the anxiety has really subsided since I started taking it. But I have a fuse about that long until the Rage Fairy comes out.
Yes.
And I don't know how to find a happy medium between those two things.
No, I completely agree, because I have the same problem.
Yeah, I don't want to be anxious, but I also don't want to be screaming at my coworkers, which happened last week. So that was fun.
Oh.
I'm not proud of it. Yeah, I was pushed a little bit far, but I
Mm.
definitely overreacted to the situation, and I genuinely feel bad about it, but it is what it is. We move on. We do the happy dance stuff. So
But I love that, like that saying, I saw it on Facebook once or something like that. It said, no one goes 0 to 100. Usually it's been slowly building up.
mhm.
When you reach that point where you're 100, and
It
that's
also
probably what happened. It was all just slowly, and boom, you
mm,
blew up.
it doesn't help that I think as a society we don't know how to talk anymore. Like you're always told, oh, de-escalation, take 10, talk it out, walk it out, wait it out. But it's like that only goes so far when you have an ego and the people around you have an ego. And it can be a big ego
Yes.
or a small ego, but the second that ego gets damaged in any way, how you react to that says so much about your character.
So true, because actually, like, think like my husband gets nervous sometimes to bring up things to me that might be bothering him,
Mhm,
just because my natural reaction is definitely defensive, like, oh, and I don't mean to be, I definitely get it from my mother.
mhm,
But just the other day, he was like, hey, so I've noticed we waste a lot of food, because we do. In my smallish defense, my eyes tend to be bigger than my stomach.
mhm,
I like will make this huge plate. So I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry. And then I eat 2 bites. And I'm like, wow, I'm so full.
mhm.
And sometimes I save the meal, and sometimes I know it's just not going to reheat well. So I throw it out. And so he was like, listen, groceries are costing a bunch of money. We've got to stop wasting. And my natural instinct was, how dare he? Is he blaming me for the cost? And I don't even know why. Like, it makes absolutely no sense, because he was not attacking me in any way, shape, or form. He was bringing up something. He's allowed to bring up things. And
Mhm.
like, I was like immediately in fight mode. I was like,
Yep.
so I had to take a few seconds just to walk away. And he was like, are you okay? And I'm like, I just got so angry. I don't know why. It's so bizarre.
If it's any consolation, we're the same. Like both Grim and I have a very similar response to that kind of stuff, where it's like we are instantly kind of defensive, even in like the simplest things. Like we have, so she has a little stuffed lion. We call the speaking core because his
Mhm.
name's Core, and we like pass that around, and whoever's holding it says our piece, and we go from there. And when
Oh,
we do that, it's fine. Like we work it out pretty well. If not, if we're just kind of approaching a subject, it's pretty 50-50 if someone's gonna get their feelings hurt or not. And we never mean it. We never mean for anyone to get their feelings hurt, get upset, but it happens.
so true. We were not taught how to process any of that well.
Absolutely not. So, anything else you've worked on this week you want to kind of dive into, or thing you thinking, or just you got out of your rut and the crumple story?
I got in my rut. The problem is, so I've written the piece. Obviously, I have my husband look it over for grammar errors, because I'm horrible with grammar and punctuation.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time he gets to rip my stuff to shreds in the nicest way possible. But I'm glad, because, like you said, I could reread something 1,000 times and miss every single mistake I made.
Yep.
So he does that. But now I'm just stuck on the piece. Like, the revision stage is really, really hard for me.
Oh man.
I'm a person who writes it and it's like, it's perfect, it's done.
Uh-huh.
Let me send it out to everyone. Yep.
I either do that when I do revisions, or I go in and I just add a ton of stuff like
Yep.
that. Like my novel series I keep talking about, I have made the prologue of the book probably double the length that it was when I did my initial draft, because I just keep adding details, because I'm like, we're not going to see this character for a while. This is, we got to really make this stick, really make this hit. And then it's another problem of I'm trying to figure out kind of who this character is.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep changing it like mid paragraph, and I go back to reread it, and I'm like, who is this? Who is this person I'm reading about? Well, today, okay, so I'll let you pick. So the topic I wanted to go for today talking about was fan fiction. I want to talk about writing fan fiction, but also I have a new segment I wanted to do that we can dive into now, or we can dive into towards the end of the show when we go into our other wrapping up segments. I will let you decide what we do.
Let's do the new segment, because I know fan fiction talk can go for like 10 hours. So yes.
All right, Taylor. Well, I want you to get a ticket. I want you to head over to the platform, and I want you to walk on down to Procrastination Station. Procrastination Station. I thought this would be an interesting segment just because kind of again a big kind of cornerstone theme of our podcast is it's a podcast about writing, but writing doesn't always happen for a lot of reasons. And I was thinking about this week as I was procrastinating from doing what I wanted to be doing. I'm like, I go through a lot of like kind of phases of what I am using to avoid doing work.
Yep.
So I thought maybe be interesting to kind of just talk about a couple things that we have used to procrastinate, maybe not necessarily towards writing, but just in general in the last, week, 2 weeks, whatever. And for me, that was Pokemon. This weekend, I wanted to refine the comic a little bit more. And then I'm also kind of working on another thing, fan fiction wise, that we'll get into later. But I wanted to work on those and I wanted to sit down and do it. And then I'm like, weird segue. So I have a copy of Pokemon Platinum that has all of my Pokemon from the original Game Boy Advance and GameCube games.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to move those into the Switch games, but I need it to beat Gen 5 Black and White to do it. And I hate those games.
Really?
I'm not a fan of Gen 5. I think it's slow and there's a very big balancing issue as far as the just the stats for the opponents go, and also there's a bit of a leveling curve. So I like the story. I just don't like the game itself. If there was like a novelization, maybe I'd feel differently.
Yeah,
but I'm not a fan of Black and White. But I have to beat it to get all my mons moved up, and I beat it last night. After grinding for 5 hours going in and out of the Elite Four because I had run out of money and I was under leveled. So the only thing I could do was either go back to the start of the first town and just run to the Pokemon League, which is so tedious to me because you're just getting like 2 XP in the early levels, or go for broke and just run through the Elite Four and do what you can. And I got there in the end. Yeah, that was how I spent my Sunday and a decent portion of my Saturday.
I love that though. That sounds relaxing, kind of.
I really enjoyed it. This is one of the first of 2 weekends I've actually had in a while to just sit and relax.
Me too.
Yeah, and so I took a long bike ride. I did some yard work, and then I just played Pokemon instead of writing like I wanted to do.
Every single weekend, like, oh my God, I find some darn excuse. So that just summed up really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I am currently fixated because it changes.
Oh yeah.
Like everything in my life changes. I fixate on a certain food. I fixate on a certain song, music, whatever. This week, the past few weeks, I've been fixated on cleaning, which you should know is super bizarre. I am the messiest, sloppiest person you will ever meet when it comes to housework. I'm not filthy, which is really great. And so, but the last few weeks, for some reason, I've got it fixated in my head that I have to be the best wife ever known to man, which is super bizarre and also super gendered. I don't know why I've got this, I'm fixated on right now. So lately I've just been cleaning. I'm like, this is your job now. You have to do this. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, you could be writing.
I went through one of those phases like 3 months ago, and our house is literally falling apart. So it was a combination of cleaning and also let's fix everything we possibly can with like zero budget right now. Like our sink, the former tenants of this house, they turned the water pressure way down and somehow removed the valves completely.
Oh my God.
And so, I put like 4 different types of water valves on those pipes and they still don't work. Whenever I have a budget to get a new sink, we're going to do a whole day of that. But yeah, it's a home improvement thing and it's a cleaning thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Cause I'm the same way when I come home, there's an explosion of my work clothes. Like there's shoes kicked everywhere. I drive them crazy. Cause she's like, why are there 4 pairs of shoes in the middle of the living room? Why is there a tie on the floor in the hallway? Like I have a pile of like hoodies and jackets right by the door, a pile right next to the coat rack. I have a pile. I have the chair of shame in the living room. It's just, oh my God. That's where I keep my jammies so I can just do a quick change when I walk in the door. But
I'm the same exact way.
Yeah. It also doesn't help that we moved into this house with kind of the thought that we're going to have way more room than our apartment, but we don't have access to almost half of it.
Why?
Just because the basement is trashed, the attic is trashed, the garage is trashed. Just again, multiple generations of neglect. And the whole plan was we were going to get a dumpster and dump stuff.
Yeah.
But we ran out of the budget for it. And again, we ran out of time because I wanted to get all that stuff done before we moved in, but we reached a point where I had to make a decision.
Yes.
So we've been kind of doing what we can when we can, but it's not a lot because we definitely need a bigger receptacle. So
Yes.
as a result, we just have boxes everywhere still. So I long and the short of it though, yeah, I get the cleaning bug. I get the urge to clean.
Literally to do anything other than writing at the moment. Like, and that's bizarre because like it's leading me to do things I hate, cleaning, instead of doing something I love, writing.
It's like that with me and YouTube stuff too, just because I want to do YouTube stuff again, but there was always something in the way. All right, well, I think we had a good time at the procrastination station, so we'll hop on off that train and hike on back to the podcast. So today's main topic, we'll get on to the big topic of the show. I wanted to talk about fan fiction, because that's the other thing I've been writing this week. Or the last couple of weeks, I've been writing some fan fiction or plotting out some fan fiction that I want to write. And it's one of those things. Fan fiction is, at least for me, I write it with kind of the knowledge of this isn't ever going to matter for anything because it's fan fiction, but also it's like you can put amazing ideas into something that can get reworked into something else.
Yes.
And just kind of the validity of what it means to write fan fiction. And obviously you can do it just for fun. That's for funsies is fine too. But I know you've talked about it before, having some vast experience writing fan fiction. What are your kind of thoughts on the process of fan fiction in translating into your current, not your current work necessarily, but just kind of your original works?
Ooh, can you answer that question first so I can take some time? Because
yeah. Of course.
Question.
Yeah. So this week, so before the Pokemon rabbit hole, I was on a Doctor Who rabbit hole, as I tend to get.
Yes.
Yeah. So next year is the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. And I had an idea to do, and this is kind of an idea that I've had for a fan story in the past, but it's an idea to do a 16 episode audio series put it on YouTube, put it on somewhere with I'm calling it Doctor Who Paradox. I have kind of mapped out what the 16 episodes would be, what the stories would be, what the ongoing plot thread is. And I'm really proud of the overall story. Obviously the individual episode ideas kind of, I like them, but I think the main story that I'm trying to tell, I like a lot. But I look at it and I go, I could make this into something original, and I feel like it would hit that much harder. Ooh. And I have an original thing. It's another, I don't think I've ever talked about this one before, but it's an idea I had for a young adult kind of spoop series. It's kind of like Gravity Falls type thing, where they're in a weird town, but the first book, it's revealed that it's not haunted. It's because of a time travel paradox gone wrong. And that's where a lot of my paradoxy ideas come from, is from my original drafts of that series. But also that a lot of it comes from my original pitch for this Doctor Who idea. I had this in like high school, just kind of the bare bones of what this series would be. It's kind of hard to tell when one stops and the other one begins. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. If that makes any sense at all.
No, it does actually, mostly because I love Doctor Who. So
It's pretty great. It can be pretty great.
I love that you still write and think of fan fiction, because I feel like at some point in my life I stopped because I was so embarrassed. Like, I just told myself, this is so uncool and everyone's gonna laugh at you, so you should just stop. And I wish I hadn't, because who the hell cares? Like, it made me so unbelievably happy, and I miss fan fiction a lot. And so I do read. I haven't written since like high school, but reading fan fiction, love it.
And so that's one thing with, I mean, not necessarily in this regard, but who is he? I think his first name's Dominic. I don't remember what his full name is, but he does a series on YouTube. The channel's called DW 2012, and it's just a Doctor Who fan series that he puts on with his friends.
Aww.
And the production value is really decent, but it's like he got enough attention through them that he is doing, like, officially doing Big Finish audio stuff for Doctor Who. And so that's part of why I look at fan fiction the way I do, is it's like, whether it's, doing something like that for Doctor Who, my internet connection's unstable again, or doing, like, say something like a fan comic for DC, like doing like a Superman fan comic that goes really well, or doing or people that do like art on Twitter or Instagram, Tumblr, or whatever. A lot of that gets seen by the people, like the people at the top, people with the big hats, the big wigs. And, in a lot of cases, that is how people get noticed by bigger companies to do bigger projects that they want to work on, is they put themselves out there with things that fit in the IP. Yeah, so that's just kind of how I look at fan fiction. It's not, I'm not like taking my Barbie and my Ken dolls and I smash them together. Maybe sometimes, but
yeah, I was like
once in a while. I'm just saying, I think I wrote the Barbie movie before the Barbie movie did. That's all I'm going to say.
That just got me so excited. It actually made me think. I used to create fan fiction on this website that was super big back in middle school called Quizilla.
Mm-hmm.
And there were so many different like websites that people use, but I really liked Quizilla. And I think Nickelodeon owned it at the time.
Okay.
It's gone now, but thankfully the waybackmachine.com, the web archive, I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Oh, yeah.
They have it. And I found my old account and I'm like, I want to reread my old fan fiction. I know it's going to be horrible, but it's like,
it's yours.
Bring me back to this moment, like what made me love writing. And
oh my God, I have a repressed memory. You just woke up. So I don't remember what it was called. It was this teen social media. It was oh my God, it was a Jesus-y thing. So my mom took us to Pulse Fest, which is a Christian music festival in town when I was like 12 or 13. And it was like a little business card for this website. I don't remember what it was called now, but I posted a lot of like my early proto fan fiction and my very emo song lyrics from like 8th grade on that website. I wonder if I can remember that stuff, if I can find those and then just oh my God, dude, I found so much of that just lame ass like poetry and songs when we moved. I'm like, I want to burn these so bad.
That is our assignment for next week.
Oh no.
Besides, like, we should both find a piece that's like our most cringiest piece on the Wayback Machine, and we should read it because we need to bring this back. Okay.
You know what? Awesome. I like that. I do like that. Maybe if I can't find it on the Wayback Machine, I do have hard copies of some of it still laying around here. So
yes, I'm telling you, Wayback Machine is phenomenal, and if it has Quizilla, I'm telling you, you can find just about everything. So that is going to be so cool. I can't wait for you all to hear my horrible like emo poetry, song lyrics. It was bad.
Oh my God, I was such an overdramatic little shit in late middle school.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is like I used to write about love and heartbreak and kissing and things like that. Not any further than kissing, but just kissing. But I had never done any of those things. I did not kiss a boy until I was 17 years old. So I'm just like, what was I doing? Where was all this coming from?
Yeah, and it's like for me, I dated people, but there was always a very unrequited thing between me and one person. And you know this one person, and I bet you could guess this one person. Oh, wow. Okay, well, that makes you one person. That's awesome. I love that you don't know.
I was also in love with a single person from 7th grade to 10th grade. So I felt that deep in my soul, but I don't know who it is. I will tell you.
I'll tell you during the break. Which we will take now on that note. This is Writers Bleck. We'll be right back to talk more about fan fiction and not who I was crushing on super hard throughout most of my young life. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back. When we left off with the Writers Bleck podcast, we were talking about fan fiction and kind of the different avenues that fan fiction can take in terms of how it can influence our original works. Yeah, and I don't remember what else we were talking. I blacked out the latter half of whatever we were talking about. I don't remember any of it. But yeah, fan fiction. Do you have like a piece, something that kind of started off like fan fiction and turned into your own thing, or kind of vice versa?
I don't currently right now, but I have been thinking about something.
Okay.
Kind of like, I like the idea of a piece about obviously a girl who her dreams start to feel and become like really real to the point where like she wants to spend most of her life just dreaming because it's so much better than everyday life that she's missing out on a lot of the really great things that are actually happening. Like a person she really, really, really likes is like really into her, but she's so focused on just like, I want to get back to my dreams. Because each dream, and I was thinking each dream would be like a different fan fiction moment. Like she used to be with the characters that she's always wanted to be with, going on the adventures she wants to. But I just don't know where else I'd go for there. Like what brings her back to reality? What makes her realize like these are just dreams and reality is where she should be. So that's kind of where I'm at with that one.
With things like that, it sounds like if you're going to go full Alice in Wonderland, go full Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
what if it was like a waking dream, like a daydreaming type scenario where I'm not trying to take your thing. I'm just thinking,
Oh, I love that.
yeah, like a daydream type scenario where it's like they're still kind of cognizant to what's going on around them, but they're living in their head more than kind of out and about.
Yes.
And watching the progression of time as their friends are, going on to do other things, or maybe it's like a kind of towards the end of like a high school type scenario where everyone's going their separate ways. I don't know.
I love that.
Don't mind me. That. I like to
No,
talk.
I like that. That's another reason why I love sharing ideas with people, because there are perspectives I never would have considered, and I think that makes us better writers, like hearing that stuff. And that's another reason why we should share work with each other, because like
I do love that.
Seeing things that I would never have seen.
Yeah. Well, I love sharing like my stuff. I think I've talked about this a little bit before, but that's one problem that I have with writing is I'm the kind of person that I need instant gratification.
Me too.
Yeah. Like in middle school and early on in high school, actually, I think probably until junior in high school, I would write stories and comic books, and I would immediately turn to Matt Lewis and be like, read these.
Yep.
And like that was how I did that. Like I needed that hit of dopamine that comes with somebody enjoying my work, even if in that case I feel like it was kind of a chore for him after a while.
Oh.
It was multiple times a day every day, and there was like a point when he did it too, and then he just stopped, which really should have said something to me, but yeah. It is what it is.
It's so interesting because like when we were that age, we were able to just write and just get so much out, multiple things out in a day. And now,
yeah.
Oh my God.
I did everything to avoid doing schoolwork. So I wrote. And now I'm trying to write. And I'm doing everything to avoid it. It is an endless cycle.
I hate that for us.
That's the real circle of life.
Yes.
I hate that that'll be the name of the episode. I hate that for us.
Adulthood sucks.
Oh, it does. It really does. And I don't know if part of it is depression or it's just part of the cycle of this is what we feel like we have to do, so we instantly don't want to do it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm not a psychologist, but
I think part of it is the fact that most of our basic needs aren't being met because we're poor. So I'm like, maybe if we were like rich, I know, I'm like, maybe if we had a lot of our basic needs, like proper shelter, proper food, less stress, like maybe then we'd be like, man, there's a whole meaning to life. Like, damn, I'm getting so much out of this. But right now I'm like, I'm focused on survival. And so that leaves a little time for everything else.
Well, let's see. After bills are taken out, I have $200 to get me through the next 2 weeks. I guess I can get a Slurpee maybe if I'm really, really like ration it really well.
Exactly. And that's just so sad. I'm like, how is anybody supposed to enjoy the small things in life when we're so focused on everything else?
So is there and I know you say you haven't written fan fiction really in a long time, but is there a piece that you wrote at any point that you think is something you might want to revisit as like a fan project, like an official fan project type of thing?
I think, so one of my biggest dreams on Quizilla was for my piece to, like, at the time we didn't use the word viral. I sound so old, but like that's why I wanted to go viral, because like they posted the top stories with the most views, the most likes. And at one point my story had 200 readers like a week, and I was like, that's huge back then. Yeah. And I'm not sure which story it was though, but I'm like, now that I'm older, and if it's the one I'm thinking of, it was about magic, and it was kind of like a Romeo and Juliet meets magic, and with a less shitty ending, because why the fuck are they killing themselves? Yeah. And also, why is a 14-year-old with like a grown man? But I digress.
Why did that priest marry them?
There's so many problems, but it's like, and at the time it was based like in high school. I'd probably want to do a young adult version, just because I don't really want to write about teens having sex. It's gross. But now I can actually make it sound good and incorporate all that stuff. And I think that'd be really fun. Like Harry Potter meets magic. Well, obviously he already has magic. Magic meets Romeo and Juliet meets evil forces trying to keep them apart. I'd like to revisit that. That'd be really fun. Just even if it's something I never ever published, it'd be fun for me to write.
Yeah, well, that's good. That definitely. I like revisiting old things. Just I feel like it brings me back to fan fiction or otherwise, like I feel like it just brings me back to a simpler kind of frame of mind, a more optimistic frame of mind, so to speak.
Yes. Like it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm just happy.
Yeah.
And that's what I miss because now I focus a lot on, is this perfect? Is everyone going to love it when they read it? And I'm like, that's not why we're writing. No.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's a little bit why we're writing.
Well, to say, I'm a slut for praise. I will say that just in general,
So for me, I can't have the praise face to face. If people start like complimenting me to my face, I panic. But virtual love is my favorite thing in the world. So like comments and likes, and I'm like,
yeah,
I can like it in quiet.
I cannot take a compliment in real life. Like I had, my dad's best friend, I had his daughter on our show back in May, and they run a local beekeeping farm, and so we were just going to talk. It was Earth Day. We were promoting it for Earth Day, and I was running around doing stuff, and he stops me. He's like, I just wanted to say, I think your dad would be really proud of you, just kind of seeing all the things you're doing, this, that, and the other thing. And rather than take the compliment and have a nice moment, I looked him dead in the eye and went, nah.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, you dick. You're such a dick. You're such an asshole. Just take the compliment.
I do the same thing. Like anytime, like sometimes even now, like my husband's like just looking at me and he says, I love you. I'm like, ew. Or like, you're gross. Or like I insult him or something. Like, hey, bitch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Just let him love you.
Yeah. Grim will be like, you're my favorite person. And I'm like, you have really low standards.
Yes. Damn. Yes. That's me. Virtually, you can give me praise. I don't know, like if I ever please become a famous author, please, how am I going to handle like going to meet and greets and like doing interviews and stuff where people are just like praising you the whole time, and I'm going to be like, stop it.
Yeah. I had one experience kind of like that in my entire life. When I used to do panels at Indie Comic Con, and I did a fan panel for the anime Ruby one year. And after the panel, and I don't know why this individual asked this, because we are not affiliated with the show in any way, shape, or form, and I made that very clear. But she had a bunch of like little laminate chibi like cutouts of the characters, and she asked each of us who were on the panel to sign it. And it was a very nice, but also a very awkward moment of me being like, internally, I'm just like, why? I'm nobody. I'm just some nerd who, found out that they will literally put anyone on a stage with a microphone at Comic-Con.
It's very true.
God, I miss doing panels at Comic-Con. It was so much work, but I loved it so much.
Yeah. I've never been, but I've always wanted to go. I want to dress up sometime and actually go, but I get nervous.
We do a writing panel live at Comic-Con. We do an episode of Writers Bleck live at Indie Comic-Con.
I would love that.
I'll write that down as a thing to talk about at a future date. One thing I've wanted to do, and this is kind of writing related, but I wanted to try my hand at stand-up comedy for a few years now. I almost did in 2019, 2020, and then 2020 happened. I had a whole set written out and everything. It was about my dad stealing Buffalo Wild Wings beer glasses. And I had a whole set. But one idea that I had if I ever do Indie Comic-Con panels again is I want to write essentially a 30-minute set, and about just a nerd set about nerd stuff, and I want to do it at Indie Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things I've always wanted to do it. It's just haven't been back to Indie Comic-Con since 2017, 2016 even. 17. Final answer, I think. Yeah. So it's been a long time since I've done panels, but I miss it like crazy. Like there is I say that I don't like face-to-face praise, but like there is something so energizing about a live audience. Like even if you're bombing, it's great.
No, I get that though, because I got invited to do a reading for the first time in my life. I've never done a reading before because I'm absolutely petrified of attention. Again, I like virtual attention. I do not like in-person attention, but I did a reading for the LGBTQ Center, and I was thinking, do people actually come in South Bend to LGBTQ events? I was like, no one's gonna come. Oh my God, it was packed. And I did my first reading, and I was shaking the entire time. The paper in my hand, I'm standing there. I had it like hiding my face. I was so scared. I'm like, it's so different. Like, because I was expecting like a handful of people. Ooh, get to hang out with my gay brethren. No, it was a whole bunch of people. It was so terrifying. And like, I guess it's good practice because apparently my program in the fall, Notre Dame, they do readings like every week. And I'm like,
Huh.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm scared shitless.
Yeah, I was nervous enough in 8th grade when our English teacher had us read our like poetry and stuff in front of the class. It was like open mic Fridays or something like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Nope. And it always had to be poetry. It couldn't just be, I wrote something weird, here you go.
Yes, I'm not a great poet. I am definitely more
do you know
everything else. I will write poetry.
Yeah, I don't have rhythm. I just don't.
No.
I'm a joke guy. And I do jokes, or I do action pieces, or I do both.
Yes.
In a pinch, I'll do something dramatic,
Even with dancing, actually, now that you mentioned rhythm, I'm not like an amazing dancer, but when I turn it into like a joke, like I'm trying to make people laugh, suddenly I'm really good. So once I make something like when I try to make serious things or things that make me nervous funny, then I'm good. And I'm like, okay, what is this? Which I know exactly what my therapist would say to that, like coping mechanism and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Screw her.
I have a doctor's appointment I have to cancel for Friday now, and that was where I was going to get a therapist recommended. Oh, I've been shot by life again.
My soul.
Well, we are winding down, so I think it's a good enough time to kind of segue to our 2 ending segments. Let's assign our homework for the next episode of Writers Bleck. You said let's go back into the archives of our writing prowess and pull out a piece from poetry that we would like to do or recite or something along the lines. Yep. So I'll throw that on the docket. Anything else that you want to work on before the next show?
I'm gonna force myself to write more.
All right.
Maybe do some revisions. Who knows?
Keep on keeping on. That's that's the goal. That's the life. That is
exactly.
Say for next episode, what do I want to work on? Because I have a bunch of stuff that I can go over my comic again. I do want to chip away at that a little bit more. But a big thing I want to work on. I still have a personal essay assignment that you assigned me a few weeks ago that I did not do. So I think I'll put that back on the books. So I want to give my comic another once over, maybe start working on issue 2. Mm-hmm. And then I want to, I'll do personal essay. Even if it's not about that, I will do a personal essay of some kind. Because I had something recently happen that I thought would also make a good personal essay. Not in a bad way, just I'm like, this could be a really cool thing. So yeah, okay. So personal essay and then comic revision, probably something else that is not in any way in my brain space at this time. All right, that is our homework for the next episode. And now I will open my handy dandy Google Doc for Crumple Story 1 to our Crumple Story segment. This is the segment at the end of every episode where we work together to create a story. We take it paragraph by paragraph, switching off every week until it is done. What will make it done, you ask? I have no idea. Just the decision to end it, I guess. So pick it up where we left off from last week. You want to read it or you want me to read it?
I can read it. That should be good for me. I need to practice.
Yeah. Practice. Yes.
Want me to start at the beginning or just go to my part?
Just your part. Yeah, your paragraph.
The car began to slowly back up, and Terry debated whether he should just run. He wasn't sure why he had the urge to run, although his therapist would have a lot to say about that. But he figured any teenager walking alone at night, regardless of gender, was a target. And maybe because of his obsession with movies where there was always a bad guy, his natural instinct was that there was danger around every corner. In the end, though, because tonight couldn't possibly get much worse, he stood frozen as the darkened windows of the car began to roll down and the car stopped beside him. And that's where I end things. Okay, first of all, I love the reference to what your therapist would have to say about that. That's not personal at all, is it, Taylor? Yes.
So I'm sensing a lot of dry humor in this paragraph. Just it's leaping off the sentences, and I love that.
I'm a dry person. Yes.
Oh my God. I like the direction you're taking this. I love how the ball is rolling. I'm really excited to write what I'm going to write next. Yes, this is actually really fun. I like this. Like, I love how it could go anywhere. It could end up being a love story and we don't even know it. Oh yeah. But it won't. It won't. Yeah, no, that's not where I'm going. At least, my brain's going into a Monty Python stage right now. So, I don't know if that was the intention, but it's like I just see sarcasm leaping off of this, and I'm like, I love it so much. Oh, that's great. So that is Crumple Story. Probably whenever we finish this one or whatever, going forward with these, when we get them finished, what I will do is I'll make like a cut compilation and I'll put them on the YouTube channel.
Ooh,
yeah, so we'll have the complete story read out. So that's just kind of my thought for that going forward. But yeah, sweet. So we have part 2 of the Crumple Story. We'll have the next part in the next episode. I really thought I timed this better. We haven't even gotten the warning light from Zoom yet, yelling at us to get off, to leave, to run away. Yeah. So yeah, do you have any closing remarks for this week's episode? Anything else going down in Taylortown?
Right now, no. My head is completely empty.
That's fair. Any good TV shows or?
I'm rewatching Scrubs again.
Nice. All right. Well, I think that was a good episode of Writers Bleck, episode 4, I believe. Yeah. That's a good show. I'm stalling to see if we can get that timer to come up. I don't know how long we've actually been going on this session.
Me neither.
So, but a little shorter episode's not bad. It just means we're getting our technique down pat. It just means that we're reining in the ADHD brains.
Exactly.
And that's always good. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Writers Bleck podcast. If you liked it, give us some stars, give us a review. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know how we can improve. We always love feedback. If you have ideas for segments, if you have ideas for anything, just let us know. Comments, you can tweet at me. You can send a letter, I guess, but I'm not giving you my address. But if you can find it, I'll read the letter. I'll read it live aloud on screen, but we're not on a screen. We're on a. I need to get off this call. I need to lay down. So thank you guys so much for listening. Again, until next time, I've been Lego McGregor. That's been Taylor. You've been awesome, and you just got blecked. I'm still working on that outro, but we'll get there. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.